Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it is lovely to see you today. In this video we're going to be talking about mental health in isolation. So I first learned about isolation, the effects on our mental health, when I was a nursing student, and I remember reading a paper that said that elderly people who live alone are more likely to suffer with health issues and not live as long as people who have people around them. I've seen this in my own life because I am mainly housebound. My husband works 6 days out of the week, full time. His hours have been increased at the moment because he's a key worker, and so I'm spending a lot of time on my own. I also see it with my mum who lives alone and my grandmother before she passed away. Isolation has a big impact on our mental health, and I think a lot of people didn't really understand that until this lockdown occurred, and now suddenly people are like, I can't just go out when I want to go out, what am I going to do? And it's that kind of trapped animal feeling that I know because I went through that when I first got sick, and I went from being this girl who lived on her own, who had a job and a social life and a boyfriend, and who did whatever she wanted to do because she lived on her own, to living back with my parents who really didn't want their grown-up daughter living with them again. And it really affected me to not be able to just do what I wanted to do. I am mainly housebound now, and so I kind of feel like I want to help people. I want to impart knowledge. I don't know, just tell you that I know how you feel. I know where you've been from, because I live it every day. So many people with chronic illnesses who are disabled live this every single day. They can't go out, they can't do the things they want to. So it's really important that we all take some time and just take care of our mental health and do our best to take care of ourselves. Because hopefully this is going to be something that's short term. Hopefully you will go back to work. Hopefully you will go back to a normal life once this is all settled down and we understand this illness better and we have something to fight it with. So I would say the first point of call when it comes to this is to stay grounded in the moment. Now I know a lot of people don't really understand what that means. But basically when your mental health is impacted, a lot of the time it's because you're either living in the future with anxiety, which is what I have, generalized anxiety disorder. So I'm constantly worrying about the future, what's going to happen, where I'm going to be next year, where I'm going to be in 10 years time, what's going to happen tomorrow, like everything's planning forwards and anxiety about it. Or depression, that is going over past events constantly, reliving them, going over them in my head. Learning how to ground myself in the moment has been the most important, biggest thing. So we're going to do it together right now. So I want you to sit down, take a breath. Now, where are you right now? Look around and think of 5 things that you can see right now. 5 things. For me, it would be 2 dogs, a glass of water, my television, a big light in my face, and you guys inside my camera. And then 4 things you can hear. So to me, I can hear Dexter on the floor licking his foot. I can hear the birds. I have 2 budgies and I can hear them tweetering. I can hear the buzz of my freezer in the kitchen. And I can hear cars on the road. There's like a main road that's not too far away from our house, so I can hear cars on that road. And you kind of take in all 5 senses and go down, so there won't be 3 things you can taste and 2 things that you can... Do you understand what I mean? When you do that, I want you to stay in that focus, in this moment feeling. Just stay there. Don't let your thoughts wander to forwards and backwards. Just stay where you are right now. Think to yourself, am I safe right now? If the answer's no, do something about that, please. If the answer's yes, then take a breath, because you're safe right now. Nothing's going to happen to me right now. And that's a quick grounding thing that I do. Another quick grounding thing is to have a drink. I usually have a glass of water near me, and Just taking a drink brings me back to the moment. It's really strange, but it does, it works. So have a glass of water or a cup of tea. I usually have a cup of tea with me. Grounding is so cool because it just takes you out of that kind of anxious, depressed, kind of thoughts everywhere, jumbled, feeling all of that, to just being in this moment right where I'm sat right now. And I'm really happy when I do that. I'm always like, oh, I'm home and nothing's gonna harm me, and I'm safe and everything's okay. Brings me back to the moment, takes me out of that mental headspace, really helps. It's a really cool way of just getting away from that. Also added on to that, I'm gonna say, don't check the news all the time. I haven't watched the news in probably about 5 or 6 years because it would trigger my anxiety. It's good to stay up to date with things. My husband usually checks the news in the morning, and if there's anything like major going on that he's like, oh, have you heard about this? But to me, I often think that, looking after my mental health is more important than knowing what's going on in America or Australia or Finland or whatever. We can't really go out. A lot of people are either furloughed from work or they've lost their jobs, or it's just kind of like, well, you can't go to work at the moment. So you've all got to stay in the house together. And that's great. I mean, if me and my husband were stuck in the house together, it would be cool. I would love it because I get on with my husband. He's an amazing person. I would say if this lockdown has you trapped with toxic people or stuck in a situation where you are feeling unhappy, arguing, anything like that, I think we all know people who we butt heads with if we spend too much time with them. It's usually a sibling or a parent that you kind of butt heads with the minute you're living with that person too long. It's so important to look after yourself. If you are unsafe in any way, there are still charities running. They haven't closed. There are places where you can get help. Do find help if it's a dangerous situation that you're in. But if it's something where you're not physically in danger, but mentally you're being worn down and it's just, you're not being accepted for your sexuality or your gender or your life choices, whatever it is, and that person is always on at you, it can really bring down your mental health. It's so hard to deal. My main thing for that is to just carve out a couple of minutes away, whether that's going into the bathroom, locking the door, putting some headphones on, listening to your favourite song and just getting a few minutes to breathe, or stepping outside your back door just for a minute. Any little bit of time that you can get away from that person will make such a big difference. I lived through this in the past. I had to live with a family member who was extremely toxic at the time, and I really struggled. It made me suicidal. It made me feel awful. I made it a priority to carve out a little bit of time every day where I could just kind of have a break. Thankfully, most people, when this lockdown is over, their lives will go more or less back to normal. You'll be able to go out to work again. You'll have those longer periods of time away from that person. So just think of it as, this is a short-term thing. This is not going to be, 10 years. This is going to be a couple of months. You can make it through a week. You can make it through another week. Just little pockets of time. Find that sanity. Find that break. It will make all the difference. The next thing I would say is keep to a routine. Now, it's so tempting if you work full-time to now be either working from home or furloughed or on a break, whatever it is that's gone on with your job. Now you've got all this time. What do I do with it? I know, I'll sleep in because I like sleeping in, and then I'll get up at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and have something to eat, and then I'll be on the computer for the rest of the night, and then I'll go to bed after talking to friends till 4 a.m. It's not going to work. It's going to make you feel awful. Stick to your normal routine. If you have a routine, will make such a big difference. If not, plan your week out. Plan out your time. I'm going to get up at about this time. And I had to do this when I got sick. And now I have quite a strict routine that I stick to for myself. So my routine is I try and wake up between 7 and 8 o'clock. I have a little bit of time where I sit in bed, watch a video or a bit of Twitch, get up, have my breakfast, have some time meditating. I pick some oracle cards for the day. I light some incense. I have some time. I do like a little exercise video from YouTube. I have a whole playlist saved that you can look up very easily. There's all accessible, low impact routines that I do. So anyone can do them. Some of them are like sat in a chair. Some of them are completely lying down. Some of them are just, you can do in bed. There's lots of different ones on there. So I'll pick something off that and I will do like half an hour's little gentle exercise. Then I'll rest, have some lunch, get dressed. And then the afternoon is spent online. I try and come off the computer about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something like that. Have my dinner, have a shower, get into bed, and then I watch some TV. And that's most days. I try and do similar things every day. Having that routine helps my mental health so much. I know what I'm going to be doing each day. I know where I am. Routine definitely helps my anxiety and my depression so much. My anxiety decreases by 1,000,000,000% if I know what's going to be happening. If I know I'm getting up at this time and this is happening and I'm going to eat here and this is going to happen. If I go out for the day, I need to know where we're going and what's going to happen and who's going to be with us and what we're going to see and where we're going to eat. And I ask all these questions and I'm sure it drives my husband absolutely bonkers, but it's how I deal with my anxiety. So if you're dealing with anxiety issues at the moment, definitely carve out a little routine, plan your week, get a diary or even just a scrap of paper and write a list of things. Just tick them off as you do them. Ticky lists are so good for mental health. I don't know what it is, but it just feels so good to put a little ticky in the box and say, yes, I did a little bit of exercise today, and yes, I recorded a video today, and yes, I've eaten 3 meals. It feels really good. It's like getting that gold star from your teacher at school, you know. It just feels good. I think it's ingrained in us. I don't know what it is, but it feels great. And lastly, I would say we are so lucky at the moment because although we're on lockdown, we've got to spend most of our time in the house. We are allowed out in the big wide world as long as we socially distance for up to an hour a day, and we're allowed out once a day. So we have 2 dogs, so me and my husband try and walk them most days. We only go out for like little short walks. I can't walk very far. But if you are able to get out of the house for just a little walk round the block, if it's safe for you to do that, do it. It doesn't have to be the most aesthetically Instagram worthy pictures, and you know, it doesn't have to be the most scenic. Just getting out of those 4 walls makes such a big difference to your mental health, I promise you. Even if it's just stepping out into the garden and having a seat and just closing your eyes and grounding yourself like I talked about earlier, and just kind of sitting and being in the moment. I know not everybody has the benefit of having a garden or somewhere safe they can walk, but if you can open a window and just kind of lean out of it safely, lean out of it and just get some fresh air, any little bit of fresh air, anything to get out of this kind of trapped feeling. I feel like a mime right now. I'm in a box. Anything you can do to get out of that kind of trapped feeling is going to help so much. And I definitely say that if you can, getting out for a little walk, say hello to the people that you pass on the street. Do not stop. Do not get closer. Is it 2 meters closer? You can shout hello across the street. But just getting a little bit of social time is great. If it's possible, do that. My friend, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, my friend who lives just around the corner from my house, she bought like a little camp chair and her dog, and she sat on my front. We have like a little tiny front garden. She sat on my front garden with the dog, and she bought a flask of tea and I made a cup of tea, and opened my front windows and I sat in the window, and we had a little afternoon tea session, and we didn't get any closer than 2 meters. I didn't break any kind of rules or anything, but it was lovely to just sit and talk to somebody. If that's an option, do that. I would highly recommend that. A little tea party outdoors is great. The weather here in England is really nice at the moment. It probably won't last because this is England, it's usually raining, but at the moment it's really nice and sunny. So if that's something that you can do, if somebody lives close enough to you that they can come and kind of stand outside for a little while and say hello, do that, because it will make such a big difference. My friend suggesting that just excited me beyond all reason, and I was so happy to spend some time with her. So these are just a few little ideas that I had that help me personally when I'm stuck in isolation or when I first got sick. These are the things that got me through, that stopped me losing my mind. But I think if you can be creative in any way, that will help. My friend Finn had an amazing live stream where everybody did something that was creative. So I painted some watercolour flowers, and other people did other things like cutting hair, and somebody was making models and things like that. And Finn himself had like a little sheep that he was painting. He got about 2 brush strokes done, I think, so he was too busy talking. I will leave a link to Finn down below because he does an amazing live stream trying to help as many people as he can. He has such a great channel, so go and subscribe to him. If you enjoy my videos, you will definitely enjoy his. I hope these are some things that can help you. If they are, let me know down below if you're going to put any in place. If you have any ideas, anything that's helping you during this really, really difficult time, please consider leaving your tips and tricks down in the comments, because I think right now we all need to be helping each other, working together, and getting to a point where we all can feel like we're holding it together, you know? It feels like that sort of thing, and I really want this to be a place where we help one another. So if you have any tips or tricks, anything that gets you by living in isolation, definitely leave a comment down below so that you can help everybody else as well. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to head down there and leave me a cheeky little like. I love producing content for you, and leaving me a like lets me know that this is the sort of video that you enjoy and you would like to see more of it. And while you're down there leaving me a like, why not leave me a and while you're down there leaving me a like, why not consider hitting that little subscribe button? I am so excited because my channel is growing and I love having you all here, all my little butterflies. If you're not yet subscribed and you enjoy my videos, please consider hitting that little subscribe button, ringing that little bell, so you always know when I upload. I'm here usually Mondays and Fridays, my health permitting. I do my very best to be here every time, twice a week, because I love spending time with you, and I hope that you enjoy spending time with me too. I really hope that you're all having a lovely weekend ahead. I hope you're having a nice day today. If you're feeling bored, I put together a little playlist for you to enjoy, so I hope that you'll like that, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Mwah.